People that a lot before they talk, it's usually because they don't drink enough water.
I think it's just because that's how I open my fucking mouth.
Well, do better, could you?
I have a fat, stupid mouth.
You don't have a fat... Shut up or I'll punch you in your fat, stupid mouth.
Oh, God.
Just kidding, I won't.
Would you two hate fuck already?
We're working on it.
Yes? Wait, we are? Why didn't you say so?
I left you the Horgon.
Oh.
You know what that means.
It's going up my butt.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure that's what people have done.
That would hurt a lot.
No, you gotta make a version without the ears.
I was gonna say, if you would just take these pegs off, though, I would shove this up my ass for sure.
Great.
This has gotten
Even though it's kind of blunt. I feel like that would
That's cool. Just lots of lube. Don't worry about it. Lots of lube.
All this is staying in.
Good.
I hope so.
Oh, no.
I hope this stays in.
Yeah!
See, it's got a nice flared end, though, so it's not getting sucked up.
Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, a Star Trek podcast.
Woo!
We are here on episode 112.
Woo!
Woo! Anyway, this week we are covering TNG episodes Power Play and Ethics. As is typical, I am Ames.
I am Caitlin.
I am Jake.
And I'm Chris.
Amazing. In Power Play, we're receiving a distress call from the Mabbu... Oh, I forget Roman numerals again.
From Naboo?
6. Roman numerals are fucking hard, guys.
Yes.
6 is the hardest one. Where they're receiving a distress call, and it seems to be from a Daedalus class ship, which hasn't been commissioned for like 200 years or some shit. And they realize, this is sent by the USS Essex, which was lost in this region 200 years ago, which matches up.
Calling a ship the USS Essex just feels wrong, doesn't it? That's such shit. The USS Essex. Too many Sisyphuses. Anyway, sorry, Ames, go on.
The
Sisyphusian task.
Some of the crew members beam down. Troy, Data, and Riker beam down.
No, they take a shuttle.
That's right, because beaming down won't work because there's all these fucking storms on this moon.
Magnet cloud storms.
Where they're looking up, what happened with the Essex. They take the shuttle down, the shuttle crashes, Riker hurts himself. They finally, there's too much fucking storms going on for them to do anything. So O'Brien has to beam down to set up, some special beaming equipment to help them beam back up again through all these fucking storms. While they're down there, some hoodly-what's-its them.
Whoa.
And all of a sudden, these little glow orbs, just like in The Child. Coincidence? Yes. But these little glowy glow orbs...
Coincidence? I think so.
Enter their bodies, but they reject Riker's body for reasons we'll get to later. And then they all beam up to the ship as usual.
Because he's too sexy for possession. Too sexy for possession.
No,
they got Data, though.
They've seen how he sits, and they're like, we don't know what's going on there.
Hey! So, we're back up on the ship, and now Data and O'Brien and Troy are acting weird while Riker's acting normal. Data and O'Brien and Troy really, really want Picard to go to the southern pole of this planet so they can check out some more stuff. And Picard's like, but the Essex didn't crash over the southern pole. Why would you want us to go there? And they're like, reasons. We're just gonna do it on our own. Boop, boop, boopity, boop, boop.
Beep, boop, beep.
And Data just decides to, trigger the ship into going to this thing. I forget how, but they
also punch somebody.
I think Riker.
They try to mutiny.
Yeah,
they succeed.
The three of them are taking the hell over the ship. They end up going down to 10 forward, locking themselves in with a whole bunch of what is the word
Hostages.
I'm looking for? Hostages is the word I'm looking for.
I was gonna say assholes.
Keiko and her horrible child, who won't shut up. Neither of them. So they're down there in 10 forward, where they're, telling all their demands to Picard, saying, we gotta go to the southern pole, we will start hurting more of these fucking hostages if you don't bring us here and, do what we say. Go faster, do it as fast as you can, do all these things. Data really, really wants to get into a fight with Worf, and I was so rooting for it, because it would have been so fucking hot.
Yeah, that is correct.
Miles really wants to kill that baby, and I was really, really rooting for that. And it would have just been good.
Amy's like, it wouldn't have been sexy, but I would have totally been into it.
Yes, quite.
Yeah.
So finally, Picard says, okay, I'll take that place of any of the injured hostages down there, and you guys can have me as a hostage, and we'll talk this out. And meanwhile...
And he had a great line, because Riker was like, sir, and he's like, I'm a hostage no matter where I am on the ship, or some shit like that, and I thought that was really good.
Although, a little, whatever, anyway. Meanwhile... Geordi and Ro are concocting this way to, like, shoot some kind of a beam at the hostage takers in 10 Forward that would make the alien doohickeys get out of their bodies, and Crusher is working on another doohickey to make sure that the little entities don't re-enter the bodies. So everyone's working together really well this episode, which was great.
It was a good team effort.
Everyone had stuff to do, and they all did their jobs pretty okay. Except Worf. No, really, except Molly. Molly's the worst.
Oh, Molly did what she was supposed to do. She complained about not getting her lunch on time, which is what we were told would happen.
Mm-hmm. She probably pooped herself at some point, which is what babies do.
Gross. They're so gross.
But it's Star Trek. Nobody ever poops.
Yeah. So
True.
they finally tell Picard, we're actually Bryce Schumar, who was the captain of the Essex, along with First Officer Stephen Mullen and Security Chief Morgan Kelly. And we just really want our souls to be put to rest because we were separated from our bodies when the Essex crashed here. And we've just been being battered by these storms for 200 years. And we just want to,
We're go.
bring us away from this planet and our souls will be at rest. And Picard's like, sure, that's not fishy at all. We're working on it, I swear. Don't disbelieve me or anything. And they totally disbelieve him because then Geordi and the other one, Ro, try their hoodly what's it. Data steps out of the beam, so he isn't affected, and only, O'Brien and Troy get whomped by the whomping machine. And they realize, oh no, if one of them, especially Data, who's the strongest one, gets his entity still allowed to live in him, then we're fucked no matter what. So that didn't work, and Picard realizes, I guess we'll have to find some other way to get around this. How about when we get to the Southern Pole, we get you access to a transporter thinger in Cargo Bay 4 so that you can beam over your, the debris of your ship. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll do that after a lot of dithering about and complaining about Cargo Bay 4. Wah, we don't want to go there. But they do anyway. They go to Cargo Bay 4. They beam up what's not the remains of the Essex, but actually a whole bunch of other fucking alien light beams who all want to enter the rest of the fucking crew. Because it turns out, dun dun dun, they're not the crew from the Essex from 200 years ago.
What?
Shocking exactly everyone. And they're actually, this, moon was actually used as a penal colony. And these are all prisoners, which probably, explains why they're all kind of, jerk assholes.
This is sort of like Space Australia.
Yeah, only on a moon, which is close.
It's basically the plot of Scientology.
Yikes.
You're right.
That Earth is an alien prison.
Yeah.
Huh.
Really? I mean,
It's
to
something
Scientologists,
like
not
that.
like really, like you've just told me.
Yeah, so
the gospel.
I'll tell the story when we get to it.
Okay, I'm excited to hear.
So Picard and Keiko, who is taken as a hostage, and Worf, who is taken in as a hostage. Luckily, they left Molly somewhere to, not get fed, which is fine. Say,
Christ.
how about we just blow the hatch and we'll all just, die in space instead? Because we'll do it, because we're willing to die so that you won't, take over this ship and, go to Earth and do your bad prisoner shit. And they're like, fuck, we don't like that idea, because Crusher has meanwhile used her doodly what's-it so that the rest of the alien life forms can't get out into other people's bodies, which is fine.
Tractor beamed or something.
Yeah,
It's
they're
very
stuck. They're
strange.
stuck in Beverly's new toy, and they realize, oh man, if we're gonna die no matter what, let's just go back down to the moon where we could maybe try again one day or something.
Better
so
the
they
devil
all,
you know, am I right?
So they all leave. And they show a close-up on Molly's face, and I scowled as hard as I could at the screen. And that was Power Play.
And so did O'Brien.
And this has been A Star to Steer Her By. Thanks for listening.
I did think when they did that final shot, it's like, I'm sure Ames will have something to say about that.
I hated her so much. She's not even
Oh,
cute.
she was alright.
No, she looks like a lump. She looks like a rotting pumpkin.
Oh, bless her.
You know what? Speaking of rotting pumpkins, these things cannot still be good.
They're so light
wasn't
now.
gonna
They're
eat
hollowed
them.
out.
Those gotta go.
I considered it.
Well, throw them out.
They were not that soft before.
Throw them out later. We're in the middle
You
of a
can eat
podcast right now. I still have a synopsis to go through.
Oh,
this
Jesus.
one's, I think, fairly
All right,
quick. though.
power through it.
I ain't working on it. In ethics, Worf gets totally wharfed by a barrel.
He was playing some hardcore
was-
IRL Donkey Kong.
I thought it looked like a barrel of monkey's barrel.
Anyway,
But which is worse, getting made to look like a bitch by this barrel or O'Brien?
Yikes. What if O'Brien is in the barrel? So anyway, yeah, Worf gets barreled over and breaks his everything, basically, because now he's paralyzed and feeling really, really bad about it because a warrior shouldn't be paralyzed. A warrior should always have control and, dexterity and all this shit. And he feels...
the ability to walk, apparently.
Yeah. And he would very much like to commit Hekbat, I think is how it was. Hekbat. Which is the Klingon ritual suicide, which he asks Riker to help him with. And Riker's like, no, dude, I'm not into that. And yikes, that's your bag, dude. I'm not going to help. So they bring in Dr. Toby Russell, who is a neurologist who has a potential treatment for Worf's paraplegia, in that she wants to use genotronic replication to make his spine kind of regrow itself, which is cutting-edge technology that has never worked on a humanoid before, but she really, really wants to try it.
35%. 37% success rate in the holodeck.
In the holodeck?
Moriarty would be terrified.
Yeah. I actually thought for half a second that maybe it was Pulaski, because I kind of was not looking straight at it, and I just kind of saw in my peripheral, and I was like, oh, and I was like, oh.
I thought
Dr. Hillary Clinton.
See, I was about to say, I thought she looked like Kate McKinnon playing Hillary Clinton.
Oh, nice.
That's correct. I agree with that, but from my peripheral vision, I thought it was Pulaski.
Hair. But interestingly, not the Hillary Clinton hair of that period, because Hillary Clinton used to have more like a bob.
Mm.
Nice.
Anybody.
Present-day Hillary Clinton hair.
Kate McKinnon's there.
Yes, she's there, and Dr. Crusher refuses to do this genotronic replication thing because it seems like way too much of a risk, and everyone's trying to convince the different sides of the argument that Worf is going to kill himself anyway, why not let him do this thing? And then everyone's saying, Worf shouldn't try to kill himself because he can still live a fully functional life, and he's got this son that he's trying to pawn off on Troy now? That's new.
She's like, oh yeah, great about that, I'll send him to your parents. Nope. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, Worf decides, I'm going to go through with the treatment after, looking at Alexander and realizing, fuck, this kid, as my next of kin, isn't going to let me commit suicide. Damn it. Fine, I guess I'll try this thing and hopefully either die from it or be entirely better. And no gray area in between. So they do the neurological thingamajigger, and he gets his new spine, and it's working, and it's working, and it's working, and then he dies. And whoops. And as Crusher actually brought a tear to my eye telling Troy and Boy One that Worf has died, suddenly they go in and they're like, oh yeah, look how dead he is, that's a shame. And then he moves, and I'm like, oh, that's not what dead guys do, that's different.
That's not a dead.
Maybe turn this machine back on and we'll see what's up with that. And he comes back around again, because Klingons have Brak Lull, which is extraneous organs that they use as backups inside themselves.
2 penises.
So they're basically Vulcans in that they just have new things inside them every week.
You forgot the B-plot, though.
Which one?
They had to go save a ship so Kate McKinnon could murder someone.
That's not...
I have complaints. We'll get to that when we get to the episode.
I have complaints.
I don't consider that important enough for me to have mentioned. Yeah, that was the USS Denver, who was...
Denver?
Requiring medical aid after they struck a Cardassian gravitic mine.
Yep.
Wow.
But anyway, Worf is alive again. Alexander smiles at him. More fucking end shots with stupid smiling children.
I was gonna say Ames dies inside a little.
Oh, I hate Alexander.
Too many kids this week, huh?
He was really bad too. He's so bad.
He was so bad, Worf wanted to kill himself.
Yes, Father.
He's better than the actor who played the first Alexander.
Yeah, they get progressively better, the Alexanders. I think there's 2 more.
Yeah, I think we have this one for a while
I
yet.
think there's 4 in total.
Wow.
Alexander, son of Worf.
So it's almost a shame that the aliens in Power Play weren't who they claimed they were, because we would have had this neat little thematic thing this week of just everybody wants to die. But no, instead they were actually just jerks.
Yeah, just prisoners. Which, because I was watching before I realized that they were prisoners, even though I'd read the synopsis before and I totally forgot that was the ending. I'm watching and be like, man, if they're actual Starfleet officers, why are they such assholes? And you start thinking, well, they've been on this planet being socked by storms for 200 years.
The actual plot of Star Trek Beyond? That it was a Starfleet ship that crashed on that planet. And
I don't remember any of Beyond.
Yes.
And they were kept alive.
They kind of went
Idris
nuts.
Elba was the captain, and he was the main villain.
Yeah.
What is I don't know what
the third
Star Trek Beyond's a
Kelvin movie.
We haven't covered it yet.
Yeah.
I have seen it, and that is the
You're
plot
right,
of that.
Is.
The plot of Star Trek Beyond is basically the plot of this episode,
But they still have their physical forms.
But they've been warped by alien shit.
All you gotta say, though, the real assholes in this situation are the jailers. Because it's like, hey, we found this way to separate the consciousnesses of prisoners from their bodies. Let's just dump them somewhere where they could potentially possess people.
Let me tell you about Lord Xenu. So, and to our Scientologist listeners, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the story...
Are Scientologists allowed to listen to podcasts?
Yeah, they're pretty much normal. Except for the crazy
I wouldn't go
shit.
that far.
I was about to say, have you met Tom Cruise?
No, I haven't.
Have you met Tom Cruise?
Well, I mean, have you seen Tom Cruise?
I like Tom Cruise. I like his movies.
He's a little fella.
He's a weirdo.
He's a little fella. I really wish I had seen, what was that one? Something in Day and Night, or whatever it was?
Night and Day.
Night and Day. There it is. I wanted to see that.
I'm sure you can still see it.
I don't know.
They're usually available on DVD or VHS.
So anyway,
they pop up on Netflix.
Lord Xenu.
Okay, so Lord Xenu. So my understanding, and this of course is like second hand.
This is like, whatever the most recent one was, you were teaching us Mormonism.
Yeah, so it's basically, we should have a special segment on the show, which is Jake talks about shit that he doesn't actually know about.
Star Trek.
But once watched a video on the internet about.
Jake makes up religion.
There you go.
There you go. There it is.
So my understanding of the story of Lord Xenu is a
bitch.
The ruler, the despotic ruler of a planet. It has a name which I cannot currently recall.
Earth.
Not Earth. This is many, many centuries ago. And Lord Xenu is enslaves his people, the Thetans.
So are they from Theta?
No, that's just what they're called.
Okay.
And then eventually, I can't remember what the instigating thing is, but he basically is like, I'm gonna go all genocidal on you fucks, because or like the dissidents. Like I think they're kind of like he was trying to do like a Hitler thing. So like the Thetans, or they're kind of like the Jews maybe in his allegory.
Okay. But
whatever. So Lord Xenu loads them all up onto DC-10 aircraft. Like specifically, like 20th century jets. I don't know why it's that specific. But spacefaring. And sends them all to Earth, which at the time is a barren wasteland of a nothing planet. And they all...
So like it's going to be in a century or so.
And they fly the DC-10 into volcanoes, the volcanoes on Earth, and all the aliens die in the volcanoes, except they don't. Their spirits become separated from their physical bodies, and they're trapped on Earth, where now they latch on to host bodies, aka everybody.
I thought the planet was a barren wasteland.
Well, they've been but people started
centuries ago.
People
it was a barren
evolved,
wasteland.
and by
millennia ago.
Yeah, long time.
Okay.
So now that people are here, they can find a home in us.
How long have they been doing this? Since
the beginning.
Since man first stood erect?
Sure.
So was it them that made...
If not before.
I'd like to think there was a period where they possessed dinosaurs.
But here's the problem.
Gave them anxiety.
I like to think that one of them made Eve eat the apple, because we all know that's the true story of how the world started.
But here's the trick, though. They're in you, and they're influencing you, and they're causing you to feel bad. Their sorrow, their anxiety and sorrow, all that shit that you feel, that anxiety, sorrow, depression, that's really just the sad, angsty Thetan in you. So what you can do, the only way to get rid of them, is to do the process known as auditing, which is where basically you give the Church of Scientology fuck tons of money, basically all of your money if you can. And then you hold on to some
magic rods,
some soda cans, and they ask you and a Scientologist asks you questions while he measures the galvanic skin response.
Mm-hmm. Like actual soda cans?
No, they're like they're electrodes, but they're shaped like soda cans.
Okay.
And what do they taste like?
You're not supposed to eat
Sprite.
And by doing that for years and years,
your entire life.
Yeah.
That's a lot of holding cans.
Yeah. Well, by doing that,
what if my arms get tired?
Eventually you can exercise.
Yes.
Exercise, yeah.
You can exercise the Thetan that is in you and become clear.
They actually had some this is years ago. Me and my old roommate, possibly before we were roommates, were in like a big public park, and they had a table set up where they were doing auditing. Not that they were calling it that, but there was these personality tests.
Yeah, the free stress test.
And my roommate had seen this video to which you are referring, or something much like it. So sat there and kind of played dumb and played along for a while. And they goes, "Oh yeah, what about all this stuff?" And the guy just started to look really awkward and quiet. And we went on our merry way. And they probably tried to kill my roommate, but they didn't manage.
They used to have a booth at the mall right across from where our friend Kevin
Wow.
used to work, doing the stress test, the personality test, as well as selling copies of L. Ron Hubbard books.
Yeah. Well, that's why even like Dianetics, which is like the sort of the one that it's sort of the entry level one. A lot of people get it because like a self-help book, and they just kind of stop there. But it's actually step one of like Scientology, and it does. They give it away. There's a huge fucking volcano on the cover.
Yeah. Well, so Dianetics, right? Well, that was what it started at. Like that predates Scientology. Dianetics was his self-help program.
Yeah,
and
but they've
evolved into.
Yeah, they've retconned the cover, as it were.
They've retconned the cover.
The volcano represents the defects in your personality.
It also represents where the DC-10s went.
Yes.
So if you finished your auditing and you still have defects in your personality, then what's wrong with you?
You just need more auditing.
Yeah,
Oh.
You
no.
just need to keep going.
Yeah,
you
forever.
still got ghosts.
As long as you have money.
And that's why it's a great business opportunity for them, because
It's never ending.
Because everyone always has problems.
Yep.
Unless you're Tom Cruise, like he might be the only person
Well,
who has gone through the process and is completely perfect as a human being.
Yeah, no, I'm sure like they either claim he's the reincarnation of Elrond or he's their Jesus or whatever.
He's definitely a big star.
Yeah. But these ghosts,
Yes.
I still think it's very cruel and irresponsible of the jailers to have done this. They are
from
bad
the
people.
Uxmal system.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. I mean, not to don't get me wrong, not to forgive these folks. They wanted to steal people's lives, but the jailers really didn't think this shit through.
Or they did and just didn't care.
Yeah, either way, they're assholes.
So what was the end goal of the prisoners? Was it to
body snatch?
Because at the end, Troy, who's possessed, is like, you're going to take us home. So is their plan to basically take the Enterprise back to their home world and wreak holy hell on them?
Presumably,
Maybe.
Yeah. Revenge on people who've probably been dead for centuries.
Well, the thing is, we also don't know anything about this race.
That's
They
true.
could be very, very long-lived. They could, I was even wondering, and it may be a detail I missed, were they separated from their bodies, or are they just energy beings to begin
energy
with?
creatures.
Yeah,
Troy said they were separated from their bodies.
Oh, okay. I missed that. But I thought they were still talking about our Essex friends.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Did she say
I
that?
think she said that when she was finally telling the truth.
Oh, okay.
I think. But yeah.
Yeah, I read that the directors and the actors came up with names for all their alien entities, which was very cute. Troy was Slash. Data was Buzz.
Nice.
And O'Brien was Slugger. I find that very cute.
I like it.
Also, Data was incredibly sexy as Buzz.
True.
I was into all of it.
And
it gives Brent Spiner something fun to do when he's not being Data or being Lore, to be a new thing.
He loves doing fun new things. I love watching him do it.
It is a very, there's definitely shades of,
Gray.
No, God, no. What's the one where the Enterprise crew allows themselves to be possessed in TOS by the people who
Sargon.
Yeah, Sargon of Akkad. And,
what's their names?
Oh, that episode, yeah.
But when you can see Leonard Nimoy just having a hell of a time being a bad asshole.
Yeah, there was bits of that. In some regards, very TOS. Because there were other possession episodes then, too.
Except they Sargon was not malicious until later.
Even then, it was only the one guy.
Yeah, it was just
ruined it for everyone.
Hennock.
Yeah, there we go.
I forget the name of the episode, even though it was one of my favorite episodes. But
it was a good one.
Yeah, it felt like a version of that. But yes, everyone is a creepy liar from the off.
Yeah. The thing I like a lot about this episode is that even though, it does have a few moments of action, it's such a great tension building episode, I think.
It is.
Throughout it's
like a thriller almost, rather than like a...
And all the pieces work really, really well together. Like I mentioned in the intro, every single character had something to do and had stakes in this thing. Except Molly. Molly sucked.
I think her stakes were staying alive, probably.
Yeah.
That's what babies do all the time.
I actually thought, though, that Molly was great to have there, because when O'Brien was would stare at her and Keiko and be all fucking weird and shit, I know you. When he was talking to her about the bracelet, and he's like, I gave that to you. I thought he first meant the baby. Me too! And I was
I did too!
And I kind of wish it had been, because that to me is almost weirder. Like, I gave that to you.
See, here's where I got a little lost, because I think the Miles Keiko scenes in this were the most distracting to me. Because you look at Troy, and whatever alien is in her gets it immediately. Like, knows, I'm going to be Troy. I can access all the things I need to know to be Troy. I can tell the captain, like, I'm here to empath you and help out because this is my role on the ship. Data figures out some stuff in terms of, he knows how to do all the technical hoodly-doos, and he really wants to beat up Worf because I think that, because he wants to show fucking power. The O'Brien one, Slugger, just is a fucking creeper and wants to just assault Keiko and harass this baby.
I don't know.
Seems really dumb.
I just liked. Well, that's the thing. I liked how they all had distinct personalities. I was sort of making parallels to the Three Stooges because Troy was definitely Mo.
Yeah.
Spread out.
O'Brien was Curly, and I really like the Data as Larry is
A very violent Larry.
a very violent Larry.
They do both play the violin.
That's true. So that was my thing. But yeah, but I like that they had distinct personalities in that you saw that Troy was sort of the thinker, the plotter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that means Slugger is just kind of stupid because he doesn't seem to be actually reaching in for O'Brien's memories and figuring out how how he can be acting for
No, he did because he helped with the transporter stuff.
Yeah, he caught their little shuttle trick.
I had a thought at the start of this being like, O'Brien isn't really up for this. O'Brien isn't... I feel like it shouldn't have been O'Brien and it should have been Geordi. Because some of this stuff I don't think O'Brien should have had access to. Like, he figures out, I think, how to, make the transporter... the elevator, that thing. What's it called?
Turbo
this
lift.
thing? Turbo lift. Break the turbo lift out of its, stuckedness. And I'm like, I don't think that's something that O'Brien would know how to do. I think that's something Geordi would know how to do.
I don't know. O'Brien is a pretty competent engineer,
He was a tactical officer, too.
Well, but we don't really see a lot of that, so I didn't believe it.
Yeah, I think because he's... My thoughts on O'Brien is after being in the Cardassian War, he's kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to take an easy, laid-back job. I'm just going to be the fucking transporter guy. I'll get my pension.
Until DS9, where he just lives a horrible life again.
Well, yeah.
Pension, it's post-scarcity society.
Because, he just when he started getting comfortable with maybe I can have something with some more responsibility again, he goes to DS9 and it's a shit show.
Yeah.
See, I don't know whether or not O'Brien was up for it, but Chris and I were chatting about this earlier. I don't think Colmini was up for it. Because I feel like he just came off as really flat and bland because, he's just not maybe that good of an actor? Question mark?
I counted that. I have seen him in stuff that isn't Star Trek, and I think he's done well as characters that aren't O'Brien.
I think he does well as O'Brien, too, for the most part.
No, yeah,
I didn't like him as Slugger, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's I like him as O'Brien, but I don't think he didn't find a character for Slugger. But I'd say that it's not that he's a bad actor, it's just that he was having an off day or something. Because I have seen him play characters other than O'Brien. So it's not that he has a limited range. It's just that day he was a little...
This isn't one in his range.
I just think that the writing didn't service him well for this. Because I think that they gave an awful lot for Troy. And they gave an awful lot for Data. They had very distinctive...
And all they latched onto for the Miles one was, you're going to harass your wife.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's what they wanted, right?
Oh, pick a hostage. We're going on a field trip to Cargo Bay 4. He's like, I'm picking the woman. I'm taking her because I want to harass her some more because it's fun.
Well, I mean, they probably really did that because, she would be more traumatizing for her.
Well, no, I think they did it because she's one of the characters on the show.
Yeah, I don't have to pay her extra.
Well, but also think that the character that they went for with O'Brien was just really they just wanted to have that horror from Keiko of my husband's being a bastard more so.
I would rather leave Molly an orphan than you survive.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're an alien? Oh, I didn't even realize that.
So, I don't know. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I also just think that was just how it was written.
Yeah, that's fair. I did love Hot Potato with Molly. They kept handing her off to that random extra in the blue shirt.
I think online somewhere she has a name, but whatever. I did like Troy, though. Troy actually did some great acting in this episode.
Yeah, this is like, it just
when
goes
you
to
give
show,
Troy a non-Troy character,
Yeah.
Marina Sirtis is fine.
Well, yeah, it just goes to show that, like, she just got fucked over from the beginning
By
the
scripts,
by
yeah.
writers on the show.
There were a
She
few weak
doesn't
moments,
suck.
but generally, yeah.
Troy sucks. Marina Sirtis is all right.
Yeah. She broke her coccyx doing her own stunt in that windstorm where everyone fell back.
Really?
Ooh.
And that sounded like it sucked.
Yeah,
no, breaking a
that
coccyx
hurts
is
a lot,
bad.
they say. Gotta sit on pillows for weeks and shit.
Jesus.
Yeah. This episode was like they wrote it to kind of be a bottle episode and save a lot of money, but then it ended up being one of the costliest of the season because of the shuttle crash and all the stuff they had to do on the planet and the phaser fight and all this stuff.
Oh, here's
All these effects they had to add.
Since when does that type of shuttle have a back seat? Because we've seen that shuttle before. And it's always a 2-seater.
Well, it's also got a panel, I noticed, that, like, to access it, you would have to reach over the dashboard and you'd be pushing buttons you wouldn't be able to see. Very bizarre. Also, by the way, this is the second time we have seen great pilot Riker at the helm of something. And it has not gone well.
I didn't even think of that.
Like, come on, Will.
Just wait till he gets to use his manual steering column.
Oh, is that what he calls it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that a euphemism?
No.
I won't spoil it, but in one of the films, he needs to fly the ship manually.
Oh, God.
So he says, engage the manual steering column, and literally, like, a joystick from a flight simulator video game pops out.
Oh,
Well, I
I'm so
think
sorry.
people have even... I want to say people have identified what brand it was. Like, they didn't even make one. They just bought one and put it on a column, and
It's
you can tell what it is.
Oh, boy.
Could you hear the Pac-Man sounds going in the background?
Oh, my God. If that's not already a video, we should make it.
Like
But yeah.
him playing Pac-Man, him being like, engage manual, whatever. Ow, yeah, that's funny.
Well, one thing I think was funny is I was like, it's like a 50-50 shot, he's got to make it. Beams just fine. Like, not even...
He did.
Not even like a... Not even like a...
tension in that at all.
Yeah, like, not even the usual, like, couple of seconds of like, oh, is he...
Flickering.
It's just
Yeah, not even like in Dharma,
Just like,
a little like,
yeah,
It just went fine.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, I was
oh,
even thinking.
luckily Irish, isn't it?
I was thinking, oh man, Miles has nothing to live for anyway. You know, other than his wife and child, whom he hates and hate him. And then they had the anticlimactic beam. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
he's fine. Never
Like,
mind.
I knew he was going to be fine, but, like, at least give us, like, a, for just a second.
Have we seen the
didn't have time for any of
the
that tension.
transport pattern enhancers yet, or is this the first time that we've seen
This
them?
might have been the first time.
Oh,
I
those
feel
are
like
great.
we've seen them, but I could be like mistaken.
They've talked about them before, certainly.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and they use them in other episodes, I know.
Do they always create a little triangle?
Yeah,
feel?
it creates a
Interesting.
little perimeter, and if you stand in the perimeter, you get beamed.
Yeah. and
I swear we've seen them, but I cannot think where. Reva's episode, maybe? I don't remember.
like I said, they talk about them a lot. There's been a lot, could we get a pattern enhancer down there? And there's always a reason they couldn't. And
Well,
I
in
don't...
that case, they probably had them before. We've probably seen them before, because otherwise they wouldn't know to reference them.
What I don't understand is if really all they needed to do was get the transport pattern enhancers beamed down, why did O'Brien
send O'Brien?
Yeah, why did they risk, the fifth? Like, I would say...
No one likes O'Brien.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say.
would just beam down the enhancers and be like, hey guys, we're sending you down some pattern enhancers, set them up and we'll beam you back.
They send Miles down because he's starting to figure out the game that Molly isn't his.
Also, I feel like pattern enhancers should be like basic emergency supplies
On a shuttle.
to keep in the shuttle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
that's a
that
good
could
idea.
come in handy.
But I mean, look.
Yeah, flashlight.
Listen, we've talked many a time on what goes in your standard away team kit and how they never have the stuff they need.
Yeah, no one is less prepared for emergencies than Starfleet.
Well, it goes to show. I mean, just even after this crash, there's literally nothing of any use in the shuttle, as
It all
Data
broke.
says. Like,
Let's see if we can find some food.
Yeah. Are there
All
any,
the food's broken.
Is there like a pop tent or anything in there? Like, what do we got?
A
Everyone
pop
just
tent, a pop chip.
curl up under Data.
I know,
popcorn.
there is never... No one understands emergency supplies less than Starfleet. It's insane.
Well, because they just always assume they'll have their technology.
Yeah, the replicator. Anything you need. Oh, I need a flashlight. Replicator, give me a flashlight.
Yeah,
I need a spare computer, do this.
If only.
I really wish by the end he'd still had that fist fight with Worf, because that would have been gorgeous.
I would have liked to have seen that.
Although him picking up Picard by the throat
that was cool.
pretty good.
That was nice.
That's a good.
No, I think
Ames, you're into some weird shit.
Yeah. No, I think Jake could tell me if I said this out loud or just very loudly in my head. When he goes up to Worf and he's just like, "Come at me, Klingon." I'm like, "Yes, do it. Do it. Do it, Worf. I want to see what he'll do."
I gotta admit, that was actually one of the things where, were they really the crew that had gone crazy like Worf posited? And it seemed like, yeah, I mean, I would get this guy really being particularly mad about a Klingon because he's from when they still hated each other. So to me,
I can see the one really not like Keiko because Keiko's a bitch.
But, just like, it was like, yeah, maybe they went a bit mad, and this guy hates Klingons because, yeah, he's from 200 years ago, the war had just ended.
They were still calling the home planet Kling.
Yes! Somehow knew he was a Klingon, even though he was lumpy. And Slash, right? Had the air of a captain about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're kind of their leader. I wonder what the fourth one that would have gone into Riker, except they realized, oh, Riker is hurty and I don't like it.
Squibs.
Nice. The name?
Squibs.
Been Squibs?
Like meth. We're just gonna be trying to make meth the whole time.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where is this coming from?
That's the thing. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they would have gotten the one random guy who's just there for tax evasion who's like, guys, this is a terrible idea. Shut up. Why did we bring him?
We just needed a fourth just in case.
I also did, I appreciated how when Picard and Worf are sort of whispering to each other, and Picard's like looking for like tactical advice or, and Worf's like, oh yeah, ghosts, huh? Klingons, let me tell you all about ghosts in my culture. Shut the fuck up, Worf, I know what ghosts are. This is not to help with the situation.
Yeah, their cover story was kind of bullshit. There are many, many other things they could have said instead of, yeah, we're ghosts looking to be put to rest. That's what we are.
Yeah, bring our bones. Bring our bones back.
Bring Bones back. We miss Bones.
Bring Bones back.
There you go.
But without all the shitty age makeup, please.
Yeah.
And thank you.
But yeah, I don't know. I like this show.
It was fun.
This is Star Trek. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Next. There's no nice smooth segue here.
I had a giant problem with ethics.
Which one?
The whole thing with the Denver.
Alexander? Wait, what was you saying?
The whole thing with the Denver.
The Denver, yes.
Because, here's the thing. You already had a perfectly good, I feel somewhat balanced, argument set up. Mm-hmm. But then, by having this unnecessary scene where Kate McKinnon kills a guy, it just makes her...
For science.
Yeah, but it makes her, position less tenable.
Yeah, that's true.
The fact that, clearly that was not ethical.
They needed another reason for Crusher to not get along with her.
Right,
but also it was a way to show us how dangerous this is and how bad it could go. Right,
but I feel like they
her science sucks.
That's the thing. They made her seem less capable and more evil. This guy clearly Worf. If you just had Worf consenting to Worf consenting to the procedure.
Yeah, which he did.
Yeah,
immediately.
But
once
Bev
he said it,
being you're taking advantage of a desperate man. That there is, I think, makes for an interesting discussion. But the minute you realize, she tried this thing on this guy, presumably on her own without even asking him.
Yeah.
And she
he
killed
was probably
him.
knocked out already.
That just makes her a villain.
Yeah.
And
she's in the villain poster.
She's unethical.
Yeah, she, it ruins, I feel, her argument falls to pieces because she clearly just likes experimenting on people.
Yeah, she's taking the science over people's lives. She's looking, and honestly, I do see that she's looking for the long term and saying, when this medicine is perfected, it will save way more lives than, one guy that it was tested on.
Yeah, but she is obviously trying to make shortcuts, which is why Bev's big problem.
Yeah, which I feel really...
Yeah, research is long and arduous. And
really weakens what was otherwise an excellent episode. And it makes it hard to sort of argue in her favor because there's sort of always that moment. It's like, well, yeah, but clearly she's a bad doctor.
Because there was a way to save the guy, and she chose not that way, and instead this unproven way.
Yeah, whereas with Worf, like, there's nothing. You know, there's the implants, which he has made plain he does not want.
Yep.
Or there's this other procedure, which...
We did have those movement belts that we saw in John Doe episode.
It's funny to see them back.
They're still weird.
But, like, you know, and I think
things he was using to stand up when Alexander came in.
Yeah, those little belts he put around the legs.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, you can still have the discussion, but it's like, I feel like it's weakened by this, frankly, unnecessary sequence.
Return to Tomorrow is the name of that other episode.
There it is!
Finally got it. When you stop thinking about it, that's when it comes to you.
You have an amazing memory, Ames.
It's not that great. The thing is, I happened to be reading an article the other day and it was there. So you'd think I would have remembered it. But anyway, yeah. And the thing is about ethics is, I think one of the really, really smart things they do is they make it Worf. Yeah. Because if they'd made it a human would have a very, very different ideology of, you know, when is your life over? And you know, when you're paralyzed, you still have a lot that you can bring to society. You can, as Kosher says, you can live like a really meaningful life. And a lot of people do. Yeah. But Worf specifically would not be able to.
No.
I do find it interesting, though, that other than, you know, I mean, no one's obviously comfortable with it. No one likes the idea of it. But this whole idea that you can commit suicide is like, I don't know. It seems forward-thinking in a lot of ways.
And I thought Riker was kind of being racist about it, too.
A little bit. That was the other only kind of weird thing about the episode. Is like, you think he would have gone with Picard. But, of course, Picard just would have been like, Yep, go kill him. Klingon way.
Here's a knife,
here's some
chap.
Knife. Here's some more knives. Here's some poison.
I'm a little offended on Picard's behalf that he didn't get asked. Because, like, they're, like, tight, you know?
And then he asked Troy to take his orphaned child?
Well, because he knows Picard.
Yeah, Picard's not going to want to child.
That's the nice thing he did.
He'd be jettisoned immediately.
I feel like, you know...
I mean,
Picard would have been the logical choice. They're obviously closer than Riker.
Honestly, the way they could have done it with Picard and had it still work is actually he could have found the same thing Riker did. You know, you've been like, because he could. It
shouldn't be me. It should be Alexander, who sucks.
Yeah, it's like now, right, Worf, you know your customs as well as I do.
Yeah, and I also can see Picard honestly doing a better job at the wrestling with the decision than Riker did, or than Frakes did, really.
Although I guess you could say maybe he would go with Riker because Picard. His relationship with Picard is sort of one thing. Picard's his captain and is helping through all these things. Whereas I think this is something he wanted sort of like a warrior companion to help with. And I think he thinks of Riker more as someone he would... Not that he wouldn't fight alongside Picard,
I don't know.
But
Picard fought off people on Kronos with stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that he wouldn't, but I think they are more often in the field shooting people together next to each other than he is with Picard.
Oh, and Riker did serve on a Klingon ship, so they have that in common as well. So there's that.
So, it could make some sense, but I think it was mostly just because, Picard, it would have been a bit more straightforward.
I was honestly surprised that Picard was as okay with it as he was. It's once again feels like, well, I guess it's not quite Prime Directive-y, but it does sort of feel like, you know, you've tried to stop people from, like, allowing themselves to be destroyed before, but you're not going to stop Worf.
Because it's his custom?
Well, he's no longer of use to Picard, so...
Oh, that's cynical.
If Pulaski were on board, he would have asked Pulaski immediately.
And she would have done it.
Well, that's the thing. I find it very, very hard to believe that there is not a cure at this point between giving a
doing
blind
like a robot
man
leg kind
sight,
of thing,
which they do regularly, and all the other magic that they perform.
Well, I thought those bands are basically magic.
Yeah, but like even today, I mean, I wouldn't speculate, but I would say, you know, possibly within our lifetimes, stem cell research, if it's allowed to happen, is going to have great breakthroughs for people with those kinds of injuries.
Yeah, it does answer a question we had from a few weeks ago, though, of whether there are people who maybe, you know, can't walk or whatever in the future. And apparently, yes. Apparently that is still an issue.
I'm surprised they didn't give him a wheelie wheel like, you know, Jameson or Pike.
Yeah. I could see, to your point about prosthesis, though, I could see Klingons being anti-prosthesis. Just, it feels like a thing they'd have, you know? It's like, I am not fully Klingon.
Yeah, it feels like a weird weakness / cyborg.
You know, a Klingon watches Star Wars, and it's like, he is no true warrior. He is more machine than man. The old person said it. He is without honor.
He also doesn't have the high ground.
All right, General Chang. We have your artificial eye almost completed. Get me my riveting gun. I need a scrap of leather and some rivets.
Oh, I wanna watch a Klingon watch Star Wars.
Yikes.
I want to know what love is.
I feel like it's like the third week in a row we brought up this song.
Is it?
Maybe. We brought it up a lot lately.
Have we
Not
really?
in a row.
I didn't even remember that we had done that. That's great. I'm glad I said it. I have no regrets.
Yeah, it's funny though, because like it's not completely matter of fact that people can just kill themselves.
No,
because Bev seems pretty against it.
I think.
But I feel like she would be in general.
Sure, and I also, as a doctor,
First do no harm.
That's a different. Like,
yeah.
But and I don't think, like I say, I don't think anybody was comfortable with it. But no one was like, oh well, let's
Next
tie him to
step
the
is
bed
this.
and
take this to court.
Yeah, like if that was the decision he was going to make, they were going to let him do it ultimately.
Yeah, but you feel like if someone was in, say, a terminal type situation, it would probably be legal. But I wonder how they would. I'd like to think that assisted suicide for the for the terminally ill would be a matter of fact by the 24th century.
Oh, I'm sure
I mean, Bones did it to his dad.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a situation where, and I think Picard's point was interesting, right? Because, we would say, if you're terminally ill, if you're, you're just, the rest of your days are numbered and you're going to be in constant pain, then sure, that's a great thing to do.
Yeah.
But Worf, obviously, like as someone said, he's not in pain. In Starfleet, he could have a very productive career as a Starfleet officer still.
Oh, yeah.
But as a Klingon, an injury like that is as bad as a terminal diagnosis. Because you cannot be a Klingon with that type of injury.
Yeah.
In his view of Klingon
and
stuff.
Picard even says, like, there's no amount of counseling or anything that could change his mind on that. He would be miserable.
Yeah, Troy doesn't even try. Troy knows that. And also, he's about a counselor, so there's that.
But even I think a competent one would just be like, not be able. She
was also shit at having Alexander around too, though. Just trying to say, yep, your daddy's gonna be just fine, and if he's not, that'll be fine too. It's like, Troy, leave him alone. You're playing pyramid game with him now. It's getting weird.
I'm your mother now.
Ooh.
I was a mother once. I'm good at it.
Yeah, for 2 days.
I wonder why Worf doesn't try to send Alexander to ward with Kern. Like that seems like he wants Alexander to have a Klingon upbringing.
Yeah, but I think he's
realized by now. I thought
realized
that's
by
what he
now.
was going to do too. I figured for sure he wasn't going to be like, "Can you take care of my kid?" He'd be like,
"Can you call my brother for me?"
Yeah. If I die, bring this kid to my brother and make him deal with it.
If I die, just mail him to Kling.
Make sure to punch a few holes in the box, though.
If I die, put him in the Finny tube. There's no use for him. There's no hope because he sucks.
I'm thinking at this point, Worf has just realized that a Klingon upbringing is not for him. But a half Beta Z weirdo upbringing might be perfect.
Maybe.
I just feel like the other thing too is that he just fought so hard to get his honor back that to die that way must be like the least honorable way you can die.
It's probably
for
pretty.
a Klingon,
well, that's the thing. I think,
aside from having your dad be a traitor.
The thing is, doing that particular ritual lets you
Yeah,
retain
yeah.
your honor.
Your honor, right.
Like, that's why they do it.
But, like, yeah.
We don't have any way to fix that because we usually let people just die if they have it.
It's amazing there's any Klingon medicine, really.
I know, I'm still surprised because Crusher basically says, we still don't know enough about Klingon anatomy. I'm like, why not?
Because there's one Klingon in Starfleet.
Still, you've known about them for a long, long time. She seemed like, oh man, these stupid duplicate hearts and duplicate penises and all these things are so weird. I'm like, fuck, you should be studying this. You have a Klingon on your crew.
Yeah, but they probably, prior to the treaty or the peace or the whatever, they probably weren't exactly getting sent anatomy and physiology books from Klingon U.
Well, they've...
And then they only have one Klingon, so she can't do what this other chick would do. Toby, what's-her-face, and just cut him open to see what makes him tick.
Bones already gave this excuse in Star Trek VI when he let what's-his-fuck die.
David Warner?
Gorkin, that's a
Gherkin.
Gherkin. But yeah, and I understand, like, because you got to figure with human anatomy, they have 500 years of scientific research into human physiology.
They don't know about Vulcans now, and Vulcans have a new organ every week.
Well, that was literally all Bones doing. Because every time he turned around, you know how many papers he probably wrote about Vulcan physiology because of Spock? Like, guess what, guys? Extra eyelids! Guess what, guys? Liver's in a weird place.
Guess what, guys? They love being electrocuted.
Guess what, guys? Really nice taut buttholes.
Oh my.
No matter how much you just ravage them.
Taking it too far.
Ravage them. What just
I mean,
happened?
it's consensual ravaging.
I don't know what just happened.
Onward and upward, folks.
I thought we were all in the realm of those two were fucking. Are we not?
Yeah, we are, but we don't like
Not
to
like
think
that.
about the particulars. They were gentle lovemaking types.
They were. That's true. It was a lot of
Fisting.
caressing.
Yeah, exactly. Fisting. Caressing of the butthole from the inside.
No.
Yikes. Why?
I'm going to change the subject.
Yes.
You prefer rimming?
For reasons. Geordi is a dirty, dirty cheater at poker.
I know.
He was like, don't worry, I'm not cheating.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah,
just said you were cheating.
I can see through the cards. Next time don't pick cards that are so see-throughable. Don't worry, I don't actually do it until after the hands are played.
Another
we believe you.
superpower courtesy of that visor.
That motherfucker must be looking at everyone naked all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless you're wearing clothes that block.
Well, I fucking
infrared.
will now. If I ever meet Geordi, I'll make sure to wear my ultra red proof long johns.
Armor. Just armor is fully
Poor
fine.
Leah.
No
He's
shit.
seen it all, man. He's seen everything.
Well, he already had.
Well, that's true. But that was only the computer simulation. The computer probably didn't have records of all the moles
The
on her.
exact color of her
They
areolae.
only knew about the one mole. Not all
Geordi
the
says,
other
yes,
ones.
yes. No, take her clothes off, computer. No. I want them bigger.
Oh my.
Her moles?
Yeah.
You wanted her moles bigger?
Because there's some weird shit.
That would be a great thing if when she
Literally.
finally came up, he's like, huh, I thought your mole was bigger.
No!
He said he knees. Huge knees.
Knees are weird.
Oh.
Weird big knees.
He's got big old
Big
knees.
need girls, you make the rockin' world go round.
And now I'm picturing, those dinosaurs that look like they're wearing, a bony helmet,
Yeah.
kind of. I'm picturing she has that for knees, not good.
Like a biker? Like a goth biker?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we tried to get back on course.
Did we?
Yeah, we talked about Geordi being a filthy, filthy cheater.
Oh, yeah,
This
he
truly
cheats.
is.
But he was otherwise, really not in this episode, right?
Yeah. I noticed, I think I didn't notice. I should go rewatch the beginning of the episode because apparently he had a beard briefly that I didn't even see.
Who, Geordi?
Yeah,
Missed that completely.
They let LeVar have a beard for one scene just to appease him or something, and never again.
What was it, in his writer? Was he
He must
like,
have
I'm
one
not
beard."
coming back for season 5 if you don't let me have a beard in
Everyone's
a
getting
scene."
beards, and I feel left out.
Maybe if I grow a beard, my character will improve, just like Riker's.
Then Patrick Stewart was going to want a beard, and it was just kind of spiral out of control.
Patrick Stewart looks pretty good in a beard.
Well, especially that when they had him in Riker's Fantasy World, the Robin Hood thing he had going on.
Yeah, that was nice. The one in when Yark goes and dies in the Enterprise C is nice. Didn't he have a beard?
No.
Thought he had a beard.
No.
Was he just so old? God damn it.
Yeah, no, I think the only time he's had a beard so far was the
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, when he went.
This one was another one.
Oh, he probably had one in the Robin Hood episode, too.
What about when Riker was obsessed, or that wasn't obsessed, was putting a fake hologram by that?
That's what I was
That's
talking
he's
about.
talking about.
He had sort of like a little
He
Robin
had
Hood.
it was like a Van Dyke.
Kinda, yeah. But he may have also had one in the Robin Hood episode. I realized
Oh,
why I was causing
yes, I
confusion.
thought you were talking about the Robin Hood episode.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
he does have a beard.
I don't remember
Yeah.
there being a second Robin Hood episode.
There wasn't.
No,
it's
he's
Robin Hood
confusing
style
things by
beard.
saying Robin Hood.
I'm using Robin Hood as an adjective.
Did he have a beard in the Musketeers scenes for Barclay?
Oh, he might have.
That may have
There
been
might
a
have
more
been a
full
mustache.
beard.
I don't remember. Anyway, enough of
Long-
Patrick Stewart's beard.
Long wizard beard. Goes down to his knees.
What about Spock's beard?
So yeah, Dr. Kate McKinnon.
Dr. Hillary Clinton.
Toby Maguire. What was her real name?
Toby Russell.
There we go, Toby Russell. Which, isn't that two different breeds of dog?
Jane Russell. Toby is the name of a dog in Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
And I think there's
And
a
Jack Russell.
Jack Russell
Russell
Terrier.
Doberman?
There we go, yeah, Jack Russell Terrier.
Doberman Russell.
Jane Russell.
Yeah, she was a smug bitch.
Jane Russell?
No,
Oh, Toby Russell.
Russell.
I was like, what?
Toby Russell. I don't know. I didn't care for her. She gave me bad vibe as soon as she came on board.
You know, she was like, right away they were making her out to be like sketchy-ish.
I don't know. She wanted to play friends with Bev when they met. They're like, "Oh man, you did this thing, and I think it's so cool." They're like, "Oh man, we're gonna be besties."
Yeah, but that's how it always starts.
Yeah.
You know, that's like with Troy and Mind Rape Guy, you know. It's like it starts out, oh, they're gonna really get along, and then nope.
But now the thing with the
He's a mind
Denver
rapist.
aside, because that is inexcusable, like we discussed that. Was Bev wrong in trying to keep her from letting Worf know about all his options?
Well, what's interesting is that she even, like, why did she invite this doctor on board if she was going to refuse all of her treatment suggestions?
Yeah, well, they said she was a neurologist. I don't know if Bev was expecting her to have all these weird experimental ideas with her.
Well, I think she just wouldn't know that it would be this experimental.
No,
where,
maybe, yeah.
On the holodeck in a pre-made, ideal facility on the holodeck that it's still working only a third of the time.
Well, yeah, because I feel like at some point she seemed on board, but then she like went and did some research and was like, "Oh yeah, you mean this extremely experimental shit that Starfleet isn't letting you actually try on people?" Yeah, I've heard about it. Like it feels like at some point Bev went and looked it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah,
and found out some more info.
But I mean, the question of is it, even if it's is it wrong of her to keep that option from him?
Well, people try, like, experimental drugs for cancer, for example, all the time.
Right, so that's what I mean. Like
someone has to be the first one. So, yes, I do think it was unethical for her not to tell him.
Yeah, to at least let him know. But, there's a question of you're taking advantage of a desperate man, but...
Well, yeah, but, like, if he was gonna... It's like, this is the thing. If he was gonna kill himself anyway, might as well... go for it. Plus,
and then you know that much more about your new fandangled experiment.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, then you can dissect him and know more about Klingon physiology.
They've got all these extra dicks inside the dicks.
Lots of extra dicks.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's like that fucking horrifying reboot cartoon porn you found that time on the internet. Many dicks.
Dicks within dicks. But yeah, I think you're right, because I think if it weren't for the Denver situation, I probably would have thought that Beverly was being...
Yeah, you'd understand more where Dr. Russell's coming from, and that research is still important. Yes,
and that's why that whole Denver sequence is just... It fucks everything up.
Well, maybe... I wonder if that was maybe added in a later draft, because it was like, oh, well, we actually are kind of making one of our main characters look bad.
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe we should make it more clear that this person that we want you to think is bad is actually bad.
Because it is really shoehorned in.
Yeah.
And like it even feels sort of perfunctory, like they didn't... It's not that they had to pad the episode. Like you could have cut it out and not missed a thing, and they probably could have done...
Another scene with Alexander? No!
I don't know, something.
I would have liked a B-plot of Geordi blaming himself...
For winning at poker?
No.
For the barrel.
Oh, that would make sense.
Well, but he did yell, "Do a barrel roll," before knocking one of the barrels over towards Worf. Don't you guys remember?
Here's the thing.
It was his fault.
Geordi was able to say with 100% certainty that there was no leak in the Dome City in Masterpiece Society.
Yeah.
Because his visor is so fucking sensitive, even the tiniest leak he would be able to pick up. But he couldn't see that fucking barrel that was spewing shit.
It wasn't facing him.
Yeah, it was facing away.
Yeah, but it was still leaking shit everywhere and melting. It was melting under the...
Did he look up there yet? I feel like he was doing kind of, a grid and, starting with the low ones or something.
I feel like you would start with the high ones.
Well, besides, but she's not like omniscient. He just has.
He knew
tech.
they were looking for a leak. That's why they were in that cargo bay.
Really, they should just wear fucking helmets.
I just think his.
I don't think a helmet was going to save.
What was this leak? Was it something they should have worn like a hazmat suit for?
Some kind of
probably.
chemical.
Yeah, especially considering the barrel that was leaking started to fucking melt and deflate.
Well, I wonder if that was just it crushed, like when it was empty, it was just being crushed under the weight of the full barrel above it.
No, maybe.
Either
Still,
way,
those are some really shitty barrels.
That is not, like, you are not supposed to stack stuff on top of each other that high up.
Especially that is hazardous.
That is a terrible. That is a huge OSHA violation.
If you're gonna, they should at least have additional straps or something.
Yeah, that if if an inspector walked in there and saw that, they'd all be getting written up.
Yeah. No,
I thought there were like levels in the place.
There were, but at the top level,
we can't go too high.
No, it's you can't go too high, but also the barrels were just stacked on top of one another.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't shelves.
Yeah.
There were shelves down below.
But it was just too high. TWO high.
Yeah, that's
still too many.
At that high a level,
I would
that's a
think
bad
at that
idea.
height you wouldn't want to do that.
You know what the worst part of all this is?
The black cat is here?
No. They had to go to the, no accidents in 273 days and had to mark it back down to 0. I bet they made Geordi do it.
I bet
Look what you did!
I bet you Ensign Ted Cruz gave Geordi a ration of shit.
Probably did.
You paralyzed him! You paralyzed him!
Oh, no. I like that. That's good, Jake.
Another thing I noticed is how when they were doing the rescue on the Denver, they drafted any civilians with medical knowledge. I thought it was interesting because I always wondered, okay, that makes sense, if there's people on board that know medicine that aren't technically in Starfleet, but they understand that if there's an emergency, they might have to do some stuff. I'm just imagining, though, the poor sap.
So like the National Guard or something?
Well, it's just like you're going to be on the ship. You might as well be useful if necessary. But the poor bastard who they rescued and is practically dying, and someone's like, "Hi, I'm a homeopath, and I put some arnica on you, and we'll do some chiropractic on that. That'll straighten you right up."
Hi there, I'm a butt doctor. Stretch.
I don't think fisting is going to fix this problem.
Gotta check his prostate.
When you're a carpenter, every hammer is a nail. What?
Carpenter.
When all you have is a hammer, every carpenter is Jesus.
Yes, that seems right.
Whenever Jesus is on the cross, you hammer into his wrist.
What would Jesus do? Die for your sins.
You think while he was up there, he was criticizing the quality of the carpentry on the cross?
Do you really think he was a good enough carpenter to do that?
The untold story in the Bible is that he actually made that cross for somebody else.
Irony.
He sees his maker's mark on it. He's like,
oh,
well,
damn it!
Oh, my face is red. Wow. Well, we weren't going to hell before.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Mom.
Sorry. Eventually, there will be some religion that we have not insulted on the show, and we'll be able to go to their heaven.
I think Hinduism is great.
I think so far we've mostly limited ourselves to Christianity, not Islam. Christianity, Mormonism, and as of today, Scientology. We're still good with Judaism.
What have we said about the Jews?
Islam, Hinduism.
We haven't said anything bad about the Jews.
Yeah, no.
I don't think, right?
I don't think so, no.
I like the Sikhs. The Sikhs seem to know where it's at.
Yeah, except for the...
Sikhism's pretty cool.
Yeah, but they don't cut their hair and stuff. I have really short hair. I would prefer not to have a religion where I couldn't cut my hair is all.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can be reformed.
You could just wear the turban and nobody would know.
But you know how ignorant people are.
That's true.
That's true. So, one thing you reminded me of, I might have been in the first episode, but there was a moment where somebody had, to dive out of the way of a security team. It wasn't the first episode. It was a security team that was on its way to 10 forward. And they decided instead of the usual, crewman walking down the corridor, it was going to be a civilian.
Yeah.
And he was in this awful, almost parachute pants. They were so baggy.
I missed it.
But yeah, it would be, I think one thing they missed with this is, having, since they had family and civilians on board, it would have been, it might have been interesting if more of, say, the main characters were civilians. Why not have some of, or more of, just the regular medical staff just be doctors, not Starfleet doctors? Or some of the scientists even. There's no reason you couldn't have scientists who aren't Starfleet. Who
like with Genesis and...
yeah,
that's true.
And actually, is Stamets technically...
not Starfleet, is she?
No, Stamets is Starfleet.
Is he?
Yeah, Stamets is Starfleet, Keiko is not. But even the scientists in Star Trek 2, although they weren't Starfleet, they did seem to be part of some kind of organization because there was a uniform.
Wait, but I just assumed that was since Starfleet was funding their shit.
Yeah, but they were bespoke.
I think Dr. Marcus just really wanted everybody to wear stuff that she made.
Yeah, except that there was that one guy who did appear to have a delta worked into his sleeve. It was weird. But yeah, that would have been interesting. And they do sort of play with that with Enterprise with Phlox.
Phlox?
Yeah, that's true because
he's the doctor.
But he's not actually Starfleet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the ridges that we saw down Worf's back and on his feet.
Oh yeah, the foot, the little foot wart looking thing was weird.
I missed the feet ones.
Oh, you missed the feet ones? Oh, you would have loved the feet ones.
That's amazing.
Go back and find the
That's
feet.
over-egging the pudding, I think.
It's all these redundant systems that the Klingons have.
Everything's ridged.
Yeah,
For her
well, now we
pleasure.
know.
God, now I want to kind of go back to Discovery and see if we ever see ridged Klingon feet there.
Yeah, and man,
Are
his
they
spine, what a
barefoot?
gnarly thing that was. Huh?
Yeah, that grossed me out. But it mostly grossed me out because they're like, okay, I'm severing the brainstem now or whatever. And I was like,
Well, also, when they had his spine out in that box and it was just dripping blood.
Oh, the duplicate one?
Yeah.
No, that was his spine. They took it
grew
out.
the duplicate one inside of him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought they had grown a duplicate one to take the spinal cord out of to put into his original one.
No. I think what they did was they took his whole spine out, cord and bones.
Okay.
And then they took the cord out of the old one. And that's what they laid inside of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they grew the new bones around it with the
and
replicator.
connections and such?
Yeah.
I see. I had misunderstood. Either way, it was gross.
Yeah, when they had that weird gummy worm thing, I'm like, ooh, is that a spinal cord? Yeah.
It had to be snakes.
Gummy snakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, again, I missed the feet, but even the back being ridged, I was like, really? We're doing that's okay.
So
Seems
we're
a bit
doing-
much, but okay. But the feet especially, it's like, oh, dude, come on. There's
They're
no
awesome, man.
good evolution. You can get, the head ridges. It's just a thicker, denser skull. That makes sense. Ridges on the spine, it's this seems a bit much, but maybe it's protection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see
well,
how
it didn't do much
Stegosaurus-
protecting, did it?
Yeah, but the special, foot, what, come on now.
It's so you can... It's
Why
so
aren't
your,
there
So your
hands?
whole body can be a weapon.
Why aren't their
Yeah,
hands
why aren't their
ridged,
hands?
too?
Because that's what batleths were for.
It was a bit weird. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's been a bad week for Worf, or a bad few weeks for Worf.
Yeah, no, he's been made to be a
He
bitch
got
by
bit- he
basically
got
everybody.
bitched by McDuff,
By Barrels.
by Barrels,
O'Brien.
Yeah, man. Oof. Poor Worf.
Like I said, which have we decided is worse? The Bryans or the O'Barrels? The Barrels or the O'Brien?
I do wonder, there's that scene where he's on the operating table, his hair is sort of falling back. I wonder if someone saw that and was like, hey, that looks way better than this dumb bob we have him in. Because I know eventually they change his hair so it's sort of pulled back like that.
Yeah, he does a ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
I do
brony
prefer
tail.
the ponytail on Worf.
Yeah, no, it looks much better on him. Right now, he looks like he escaped from a 60s girl group.
Nice.
60s girl group.
I want that now. I just want women doing 60s girl group standards, but they're all in full Klingon makeup.
You can make this happen.
That sounds great.
There should be a.
It'll be
if
a
there is, I'm
burlesque,
sure there
probably.
already is, but an all Klingon barbershop quartet.
That would be fucking awesome.
They have to dress up in the barbershop
Oh,
quartet
yeah.
outfits.
Oh, yeah,
though.
no, because the dissonance of the barbershop quartet outfit and the ridges is all the fun.
And it's in Klingon, I
And they have to
assume.
have ridged pork pie hats.
Oh, yeah, how else would they kept them on?
And ridged feet. But no, the songs themselves would be in Klingon, I assume.
Naturally.
I just want
But still
the
sung-
original Klingon.
Still sung in the barbershop style.
Oh, yeah, with the harmonizing.
bar.
Oh my god, I want this so much.
Fuck,
Can we
I
have a quartet?
I
We are
can't
4
sing.
people.
You don't need to sing. It'll be
We
fine.
don't have Klingon costumes.
You'll be the baritone. Yeah, you're not. I
I
know.
don't know which
But-
ones are which.
Baritones are lowish.
This is my voice. This is all you get.
You probably be an alto.
I doubt whatever.
You'd
based
pro-
on
you'd
your
probably
speaking
both
voice.
be altos.
I am, but I also have a range up to a soprano too. So
Oh, well, there you go.
I think that technically makes me a contralto.
a soprano too. I'm fancy.
I didn't say that.
A mezzo soprano.
Yeah, mezzo soprano, but also like.
Does that mean I can
but-
ask you to whack somebody for me?
But also all the way
Yeah.
down to alto too as well. Like I could in high school sometimes had to sing tenor parts because we didn't have enough boys who could sing.
Yeah. All right, have we talked these episodes to death?
Yeah, I
I think so.
This was a pretty good couple of episodes.
Yeah, I like both.
Yeah,
of these.
Way better
what?
than last week.
Yeah, with their
Or
warts
2
and
weeks
all.
ago, whatever it was, whenever that really shitty week was, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. The two that were just kind of meh. I think next week's going to be good too because I can already hear one of these episodes calling to me. Just calling me.
Oh, yeah?
What's it
Well,
called?
the first episode we're covering is The Outcast, which is a fascinating episode if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one that really is calling me, Toss Salad, and scrambled eggs.
Oh shit!
fuck!
Is Kelsey Grammer in one of these
Cause
episodes?
and
We're there!
effect. Cause and
Yay!
motherfucking effect.
Oh, we're finally
Hey
here.
baby, I hear the blues are calling. Toss salad and scrambled egg. Hey baby, I see you a bit confused. Oh baby, we're right there no time.
I got you pegged.
That's all I got the blues. I got the
It started off so good.
Jake having a stroke?
Now, before next week, since you've already sung it, what you got to do is go online.
Find out how to say it in Klingon.
Exactly.
Oh,
no.
fuck, I was kidding.
In,
that's what you'll do.
barbershop style.
No, it's gotta be barbershop. It should be in the original style, but just in Klingon.
Yes.
That was it in Klingon.
Oh,
What
this
did you
is-
think that
yeah,
was?
so-
That was
exciting.
Klingon. So for those of you who are confused, Cause and Effect is the episode which has a guest role for Kelsey Grammer, none other than Dr. Fraser Crane himself.
He's playing Fraser Crane in the show?
He is.
That's weird.
Captain Dr. Fraser Crane.
Let's wrap this up. I have a slice of pie in the fridge.
All right. So anyway, so you heard
Hope
me.
you have enough for the whole class.
don't.
You heard me the
Son of a
first
bitch.
You have to
time.
get out before I can eat this pie.
That's fair.
You hoyed me the first time. We got the Outcast and Cause and Effect. Next time on A Star to Steer Her By.
Woo!
Until then, though, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, Tumblr, as SSHB Podcast, or visit sshbpodcast.com. You can download our podcast on SoundCloud or subscribe to it on iTunes or on Google. And if you do, make sure to give us a 5-star rating or however many stars you feel are appropriate, as well as a word-typed review, or use text-to-speech on your phone if you don't like to type, or swipe
It kind of
technology.
sounds like you're text-to-speeching this outro.
As long as it's 5
Period.
stars.
Period.
Whatever you want.
Backspace. Oh man, I had the worst text-to-speech software when I was a kid because it was still like
Do
early
you have
days of
super
that
old
tech.
Dragon Naturally Speaking?
No, it was
Plus,
like
Jake
it was
doesn't
before
usually
that.
He likes to trick all the speech recognition things by saying lots of nonsense and seeing how far he can take it.
Oh yeah, like I tell my car. Interestingly, the easiest way to switch to the Bluetooth input in the car is to activate the voice system and say Bluetooth audio. Like it's like 10 menus deep to do it by hand, but if you say it, it goes right away.
That's so fucking stupid.
Isn't it?
Who the fuck designed this?
Ford.
Literally, Henry Ford. They brought him back from the dead.
Bluetooth. What?
I don't understand any of this.
Nobody's gonna need to use that. Bury that somewhere. That's fine.
No, so I always try to see how far I can go away from saying the word Bluetooth. So I'll be like BrewTube audio.
BrewTube. Oh no. Does it work, BrewTube?
Sometimes, yeah, it depends. Like, I just push it and try different things.
Push it real good?
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay, well, I think that's all we have. I think I said all the things.
Yep.
Yay.
I guess we can reel this one in, this bad boy in. This one's done. And visit us next week. Catch up. My name has been Jake.
This has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
And this is always Caitlin.
See you later, alligator.
Blue Audio.